It's good to be back on the channel one more gain. And I'm excited to be able to kind of hang out with you for the next few minutes to talk about the specific assignment mandate. The specific assignment mandate. We've been doing a series here every other Wednesday on the channel, talking through some things. 2 weeks ago, we talked about the bridge, being the bridge, setting yourself up as the bridge, defining the bridge, allowing people to see you as the bridge and not necessarily the main point. It was a very poignant, powerful broadcast, and I hope that you were able to engage with it. Today, again, want to talk about the specific assignment mandate. And it really comes down to clarity on who you serve. If that's something that you struggle with, if you've been wondering, who my target audience is, what is my value proposition, how do I do these things, then that would be one of the, that's definitely something that we want to make sure that you are able to engage with today. I am seeing a bit of a issue, trying to make sure that that is rectified, and I believe it is rectified now. So I don't know what happened there. Looks like the video was private, but definitely want to talk through who you serve, how you serve, why you serve them, and make sure that that you can really put together a strategy for this audience that you're serving that enables them to find you and you to find them, but not only for you to find one another, but for you to be able to serve them deeply. When I got started in content, my focus was a lot broader. I was looking at 3 different areas. I was looking at technology, media, and of course, live video. Well, technology, media, and leadership. Leadership was the third one. Yes, technology, media, and leadership. And those were the areas that I was looking into. And I kept it. I was doing videos on Google Chrome updates. I was doing videos on, of course, StreamYard and other streaming platforms. I was doing videos on leadership principles and practices. But they were all separate videos that didn't have any cohesion whatsoever. I didn't merge or mix the concept or the topic, and I didn't use one to talk about the other. I would just put out a video about some kind of technology update or practice. I'd put out a video on leadership, and I'd put out a video on a streaming platform, but there was no mix or merge. And I wish I could tell you that the reason why I gained clarity on the people that I serve was because of some strategy I was employing. No, it was because I just noticed that majority of the videos that I put out on any topic other than streaming just didn't take off. Didn't work, didn't go, the way that I liked it to go. So I ended up just focusing on streaming platforms because I knew that those videos were being, watched, viewed. That's where I've seemed to have found a foothold in that particular niche, in that particular area. So that was one of the ways that I was able to gain clarity on who I was serving. I was serving this growing audience of people who were trying to stream. And of course, I was doing all of this in the time frame of the pandemic, where people were at home and they're trying to figure out not only how to engage, but engage in meaningful ways. And so it was more than just here's how to click this or click this or click that. It was, how do I show up looking like you do? Like, so people were following me and saying, I have these things laying around the house, but you have put them all together in a way that makes you look like this, and I don't look like that, so tell me how. And then we're also finding different things from a church perspective. How do you get good audio on the streaming platforms? There are just a lot of things that we're finding in real time, and I was just making videos on all of it. And I want to tell you, there was no specific strategy here. I can tell you now, having been in this game for a little bit and I'm coaching, that was while I was doing, I employed a strategy, but haphazardly. I now know the way to do it is to stack your interests. You can put leadership into a StreamYard video. You talk about the technology behind, cloud broadcasts, which is also very much in my wheelhouse as an IT professional. There are ways to be able to speak about the things that were moving the needle under the umbrella of all the, at the intersection, I should say, not under the umbrella, at the intersection of all of the things that I was interested in. And this is what I want to pause here and say: the things that you are interested in, the things that make up who you are they're gonna seem like they're all over the place. They're gonna seem like they don't necessarily mix or match. And then I want to speak to the other side of the coin, which is that broad approach, and you feel like the broad approach is the approach. No. The specific approach is the approach. The title of our session today is The Specific Assignment Mandate: Clarity on Who You Serve. Clarity on who you serve. And if you're out there, go ahead and drop something in the chat. So we can make sure everything is okay and all right. I had a small issue earlier with the way that the YouTube had been posted, so nobody could actually see the video. But now I think we have that fixed. But I'm still seeing a little bit of a message on my screen here, so I'm hoping that that's not an issue. As I mentioned, when I got started, I went with a broad approach. And from a church perspective, as I work with faith-based entities, we have this idea of go ye into all the world. We have this idea that the mandate or the Great Commission is just for me, and it's not. You have a specific audience that you are not only called to serve, but you are uniquely and unfairly qualified to serve. I want to say thank you to Nita Technologies, who just dropped a comment in. Hello from Colorado. Hello to you as well. Thank you for that. That just kind of gives me a base to know that, yes, it's working and people are seeing it. But you have a specific calling for the audience that you have been called to serve. Unfairly qualified because of your lived experiences. And those things lend themselves to who you can actually help experience transformation. So that specific mandate, right? The specific assignment mandate that we've been talking about comes down to a willingness to really investigate and interrogate your own story, your own brand, your own experiences, and find what's there that I can leverage, what's there that I can utilize, what's there that I can hone in on that will give me clarity on the context for which others are going to be approaching my content. Here's some context. When your messaging is broad, your brand becomes white noise. You ever heard about white noise? White noise is noise that's in the room. And every now and again, especially when I'm working with an audio engineer, they will have me record and be quiet for a little bit so that they can hear the sounds that are in the room that are not my voice. That little section of audio gives them a baseline of where the white noise is. And in post, they can actually eliminate those frequencies. And so that you have a product, an audio end product or recording that just pinpoints and hones in on the voice. White noise is meant to be background. White noise we are designed and created to filter it out. So when your brand becomes white noise, it is difficult for you to reach the people you feel called to reach. Clarity isn't just about knowing who you want to work with. It's not just about knowing who you want to work with. It's the bold confidence to disqualify who you don't. Oh man, let me tell you. Clarity is not just knowing who you want to work with, recognizing who you're unfairly qualified to work with. Like, I am unfairly qualified to work with an earlier version of myself. I'm unfairly qualified to work with an earlier version of Kirk. And so when I look and I see them out there, I can't just walk up to them and say, hey, you're where I was, come and work with me. No, I've got to put out content out there that helps the person to self-identify, right? They raise their hand and say, hey, I want to sign up for the class. Hey, I want to sign up for your mailing list. Hey, when you asked that question, I immediately said, yeah. Have you ever experienced XYZ? Have you ever found yourself thinking about this? Have you ever struggled with this particular issue? When people answer in the affirmative, they're qualifying yourself. But you must be okay, right? That's why we talked about the bold confidence it takes to disqualify others. Because the idea, the concept of going broad, the concept of go ye into all the world, the concept of really I'm for everyone, it really denotes that you're for no one. You've got to be willing to disqualify. You've got to be willing to say, it's not for these. It's not for these. It's actually for these. If you have experienced this and this and this and this, that helps people to qualify themselves. When you get on an airplane, they do this thing I love called station identification. You may not even understand that that's what they were doing. Station identification, they do it on airplanes, but they also do it on radio, and that part is a little more clear. Even on TV, every now and again, in the midst of commercials, on a break between news segments, you'll hear, this is CNN. It's a station identification. Cable news network, CNN. This is a station identification. They used to be longer. They used to be, far more descriptive. They have them on planes. They have it on radio. This is WTKLA, the voice of the San Francisco Bay. I have no idea if that's an actual radio station or not. I'm simply saying station identification exists in all these different forms. You get on the plane, you sit down in your seat. This is your captain speaking. We'll be flying from Atlanta, Georgia to Las Vegas, Nevada. The weather there is a balmy 85 degrees. We'll be cruising at 85,000 feet. I want you to encourage you to just sit back, buckle up. We'll be taking off shortly. That is instructions, but your captain started with a station identification. So if you're sitting in that seat and the captain says, we, meaning you and me, will be traveling from Georgia. Yep, that's correct so far. I am in Georgia to Las Vegas, Nevada. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to be going to California. I'm supposed to be going to LA. I'm supposed to be going to New York. I'm on the wrong plane. You got to be willing to disqualify those who have no business on your bus, those who have no business in your group, in your community, in the tribe that you are cultivating to take to the next level. You have to be willing to for them to self-identify, but for others to self-disqualify. You can't be afraid of that. That's what clarity is. Clarity isn't just about knowing who you want to work with and who you serve. It's the bold confidence to disqualify those you don't. That creative native came through with a super chat. I cannot thank you enough for that. That is so dope. Washing and polishing my nails. Thanks for all you do. Thank you for the super chat today. Truly appreciate it. When you get radically clear on your assignment, when you pepper your intro with things that makes the viewer do like this, that's me, or cause your viewer to be like, what? What? Nah, that's what they're, okay, thank you for that, swipe. When you get radically clear on your assignment, your content stops sounding like a generic broadcast and starts sounding like a direct, private phone call to your ideal client. Yeah, listen. A phone call is not, you don't send it's not a broadcast message. When I call Steve Factor, when I call Tracy Lippett, if I were to call that creative lady, I would have to dial their specific number. I can't call all three at the same time. When you get clear on your assignment, your content starts sounding like a private phone call. How many times I've been on a discovery call or one of my challenge sessions or in coaching, and somebody says to me, "It's like you were talking directly to me," and I could not help but say to myself, I've got to go work with this guy. You're not called to the crowd, family. You're called to an assignment. So, and we're going back here to the beginning. The specific assignment mandate, clarity on who you serve. You're not called to the crowd. You're called to an assignment. I've got to give you a biblical reference because, the Bible has something to say even about content creation. The Bible has something to say even about branding. Therefore, I do not run like someone running aimlessly. This is coming out of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 26. Paul writing says, "Therefore, I do not run like someone running aimlessly. I do not fight like a boxer beating the air." Clarity of target prevents wasted energy. Clarity of target prevents wasted energy. I just saw a comment come through from, I think it's Squid Pro. He says, with your StreamYard videos, she says, with your StreamYard videos, I feel like you were talking directly to me. Oh, that is awesome, sis. Thank you for sharing that. Such a great addition to the conversation that we're having today. In your content, you want to be specific. In your content, you want to have clarity of target, because when you have clarity of target, it prevents wasted energy. I was talking with a coaching client. He was like, "Man, I'm getting all the way into the discovery call, and the person doesn't know what I do. They're not clear on who I serve. They don't even understand how I can help them experience transformation. Why is that, Kirk?" And I'm like, listen, the reason is because your message is too broad. Your message is it's not unique enough. It's not specific. And you're playing it safe by trying to have all the different angles. You need to be clear. I serve this particular audience. This is what I do. I help people like this experience this transformation. I have people who struggle in these areas have this kind of lifestyle. You paint the pain and you paint the heaven. Then people can self-identify. But invariably, what that also means is that they can also self-disqualify. And that's okay. I want the person who's not for me to go as quickly as possible. She says, I can't stay. I actually have a live stream in 10 minutes, but I wanted to make sure I hit that like button. I'm so excited for that. Thank you so much. And I'm going to see if I can bring up your live stream in about 10 minutes to see what you got going on. I want to check out your channel, see what you got going on, see how you're using the platform. I love this. The specific assignment mandate. And we're talking about today how you can have clarity on who you serve. And this is the takeaway. If you're going to write something down, I know Steve Factor wrote some things down already, but if you're going to write something down, I want you to write this. If you try to be the authority for everyone, you'll be the answer for no one. Own your specific assignment. Own it. Own it. Don't rent it. Don't lease it. Don't mortgage it. Own your specific assignment. How can you own your specific assignment? Well, there's so many people that are out there that are doing what I'm doing. See, this is the mentality of someone who hasn't owned it. There's many other content coaches, Kirk. None of them do what I do. None of them are me. None of them can bring my stories. You see what I did there? None of them can bring my experiences. None of them can bring my analogies to bear. None of them, most of them don't mix branding and live video and faith. You're not going to find another one who is of Caribbean descent from the Maroon tribe in Jamaica. You're not going to find another one who had a twin that died when he was 2. You're not going to find another Kirk. To own your specific assignment, you must know your story. To own your assignment, you bring your story to everything that you do. Now, I'm not talking about content anymore. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I don't care what business you're in. You don't have to be a creator to understand what I'm saying with this one. To own your specific assignment. Ooh, it's graduation season. We were talking with some graduates the other day, and these kids were trying to, they're in this transitionary period going from high school into college. And there's still a lot of groupthink that happens in that lane, right? That 17, 18-year-old mindset. Many of them just doing the normal, natural, default next step thing, which is to find a college and enroll. But some are recognizing that college may not be the best next step for them. They're owning their assignment. I'm not saying that those that are going to college are not, but if your only metric for making the decision to enroll and go into your freshman year in the fall is because your friends are doing it, you're not owning your assignment. You're not recognizing the instrumental and critical role that your story plays in your decision-making matrix. You got to own your assignment. You got to own your, you got to understand how all of these pieces of the puzzle fit together. And maybe you don't understand all of it yet. You don't have the full picture yet, but you got to understand what you're working with in order to understand what the next best step is. You got to own that assignment. You got to bring all of you into the next piece of what you've been assigned and called to do. How are you owning your assignment, your specific assignment? I don't care if it's in the boardroom. I don't care if it's in the pulpit. I don't care if it's in the therapy session. I don't care if it's in coaching. I don't care if you are an entrepreneur with multiple businesses, real estate. You could be in finance, on the stock market. How are you owning your specific assignment? The way that you do that is that you bring your story to it. The way that you do that, you make yourself a descriptive term. Man, I've got to be able to Steve this thing. I got to be able to Tracy this thing. I got to be able to creative lady this thing. I got to be able to Nita technology this thing. Because when people begin to use your name as an identifier for a specific way, for a specific thing, you're owning your assignment. You are owning your assignment. That's pretty much all I got for you today. Specific assignment mandate, clarity on who you serve comes from clarity on who you are. Clarity on who you serve comes from clarity on who you are. And for the believers out there, I'll say clarity on who you serve not only comes from clarity on who you are, but clarity on whose you are. There's an intrinsic and inherent value that is placed on the thing when you recognize the price that was paid for it. And so for the believer who recognizes that an ultimate sacrifice was paid so that you could have access to eternal life, you recognize that you've got a specific assignment. You got a purpose to fulfill. You have a calling on your life. You can't outsource it. You can't kick it down the road. It's only for you. There's somebody who will only experience transformation when you get bold enough to share your story. When you get bold enough to piss off some folks by helping them to disqualify themselves from this particular circle. It's only going to happen when you get bold enough to own your assignment. And that's what I want to leave you with today. I want to open it up for Q&A. I want to open it up for Q&A. I think I want to open it up for Q&A. So let's go here. I'm going to do that. I think I may have done something incorrect for my community folks as well. I realize that now. I'm literally just now realizing that I did not open up the community earlier for my members who are integral part of the community here. I just now realized I opened up the wrong Zoom room, and that's why they were all just waiting for me to open up the right one. And I apologize. I thought I had opened up the correct one, but I did not. But I'm glad you guys kind of just sat with me anyway there. It's only after I finished making my little presentation that I realized that that's what I had done. But I hope that you guys will continue to hang out. In fact, we're going to just stay on live here for a little bit longer. Usually we have our Q&A session inside the community, but I'm going to stay on a little longer today just to see how things go and to see if there are any questions. Plus, I also want to ensure that we get a chance to thank that creative lady 1908 for your $10 super chat. This is exponential. I cannot thank you enough. This is truly, truly appreciated. And you know, with the other 15 of you that are on, feel free to do the same. No, I'm just joking. But I am just excited that you came through today. And she says, thanks for all you do to help. And I'm excited about that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Dr. Vibe is with us in the Zoom room. Steve Factor is with us in the Zoom room. Tracy Lippett is with us in the Zoom room. And we're excited. Steve Factor says, I like that mistake. I may want to make that mistake a couple times a week. That's awesome. No, I genuinely, you know what it was? I went into Zoom and opened up the Inner Circle call, which was the 11 o'clock call. And I just had it up and I was waiting for people to join. And I was looking at it like, why haven't anybody joined? But I didn't pay any attention. So then when I finished, the first part of the presentation, I looked at it again. And I was like, oh, that's not Coaching Corner. That's the Inner Circle. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm glad that we were able to figure that out. That creative lady says, you're welcome. You offer us so much value. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm humbled and honored. Truly, truly, truly appreciate that. And listen, creative lady, if you have a question, maybe you said you're doing your nails, so it's probably difficult for you to be able to ask. But if you have a question, I would love to be able to take your question first. For pouring back into what I do, tangibly, with an investment of $10. I really want to just, see if we can answer a question for you. But if not, it's okay. But I definitely have a couple of people filling up the Zoom room, and I'm excited to be able to take some of their questions and comments as well. This is the Coaching Corner. This is the middle of the middle. this is a time of the week where I come aside and just kind of talk through some of the things we have going on. It is a really fluid space, meaning it's impromptu. Yes, I always start with something that I want to make sure that you are able to engage with, but I also hold space for us to be able to answer whatever questions or have whatever discussion to talk about the things that are holding you back in your content journey and things that could be possibly helpful for you as you launch forth to do what you feel like you've been called to do. Today, our topic was the specific assignment mandate, and we're really dealing with clarity on who you serve. This has been a recurring theme in every coaching session that I've had in the last couple of weeks. Has been a recurring theme. Not so much value proposition. I think a lot of people have an idea of, or at least a bend towards the transformation that they feel they can help others experience, but they do not, I'm telling you this, they are not clear, or they are super broad in who they believe they're called to serve. And let me tell you that the real clincher when it comes on to clarity in making content is to understand the person that you're serving better sometimes than they know themselves. Sometimes better than they know themselves, right? Because when you understand who they are, what they need, and how their day looks like what are some of the stressors, some of the triggers, when you understand that stuff, man, you have the opportunity and the ability to really serve them at a level that others can't. And it will be a beacon for them. They will seek out and search out your content wherever it is. All right, let me see what Creative Lady got. She says, I don't have a question right now, but paying it forward for someone else who may need to ask a question. Thank you so much, Creative Lady. I love this attitude. And with that, we're going to stay on live on YouTube for at least the next 10, 15 minutes at least to see if any questions come in. I want to open it up to our members here inside of the Zoom room. Those who are members are simply, they're here inside the community. And so I would encourage you to join the community. If you haven't already, just go to school.com/Kirk R. Nugent. I'll put that link in the chat and you'll be able to, Kirk R. Nugent. All right. Whenever I watch these back and I see what I look like when I'm typing, I'm never impressed. It's definitely not a sexy look to be up there like, what's that? The screen is so far and so small. I'm not certain if I typed that correctly. Once it's in there as a comment, it looks fine. But when it's not, when I'm actually typing it, it is super tiny. And so it becomes a little difficult. But anyway, I definitely see where Dr. Vibe has his hand up. I think Steve has a question as well. So Tracy's got her hand up. So we'll go in that order. Dr. Vibe, Steve, then Tracy. Let's go.
Well, you know what? The way I was raised, I go ladies first, and plus Tracy, how is the heat where you are? Because I've been hearing it's ridiculous. I was speaking to someone who's in London, and they were saying the heat is crazy there.
Vibe is talking still. I'm looking at this thing on Zoom like, why is that Zoom? Why is that those audio meters going, and yet I can't hear them? Oh, that's because I don't have my ears in. So that's on me, y'all. That's on me. Thank you. See, Creative Lady says it's giving Kirk uncle. Kirk Urkel, because that looked like that. That's not the way, man. I'm telling you, it's definitely not the way. Thank you. All right, Doc Vibe, I can hear you now. Apologies.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, first things first. Hope you and the family are fine and safe.
We are fine.
As always,
we are safe, as always, my friend. I appreciate you.
And God's got you all back. Just remember that.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
All right.
I don't take it for granted. Thank you for that, my friend.
100%. I'm going to pass it on to Tracy because I was saying over where she is, it's really hot and very crazy. So I want to get. Well, Tracy always brings the heat, but she's in the heat. I know she's going to bring the heat. And one last thing, is Creative Lady a member of our community? Because she sounds like she should be.
She should be. Creative Lady should be. Creative Lady, I hope that you will hit that link. I know you're busy doing some stuff right now. But come on and join us in the community.
I'm going to pass it over to Tracy. So go ahead, Tracy. Love the glasses on you, by the way.
New one. Thank you. Purple.
Purple.
First of all, Kirk, I'm sorry because I'm on my iPad in the garden. Yes, it's hot. I couldn't put your link in for you, but you seem to have a typo in it. So,
oh, is that so?
Yeah, you've got an N instead of an N, I think. Anyway, it's really hot here. It's close. Yes, Dr. Vibe, it's really hot here. It's cooling down now because we're coming into evening, and I'm sat under an umbrella in the garden with a cold. What I call not beer.
Not beer.
Zero alcohol.
Not
beer. It's all right, actually. But yeah, we're bearing up. It's just hard to sleep at night when it's so hot because we don't have air conditioning over here. So yeah, it's great. I did have a question actually, Kirk, for you.
Yeah.
You finished that. Let me let you put your link out.
I'm making sure that link works. It does work. I think it just looks like an M, but it's an R there.
Oh, looks funny on mine. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, my question was, as you know, I've opened up a school community, much inspired by you and yours. And
okay, hold on.
I've got it.
Somebody's saying that they're hearing an echo on YouTube.
Don't know why. I've got the same. I've got the same mic and everything plugged in as we had earlier.
I'm not hearing an echo on my end.
Nor me.
On YouTube?
Oh, I'm in the Zoom, so it may be on YouTube, but on I don't hear anything in the Zoom room.
No, I'm on Zoom.
Okay, good.
Okay, I think I found it.
Oh, you got it.
I think I figured it out. I had the wrong thing connected there. Yeah. So go ahead and talk again, and let's see if they hear an echo. Go ahead, Tracy.
Yeah, so I've opened up a school community, and I feel as if I should put a bio on there of some sort.
Yeah.
So the question is, would you do that as a video, or would you do that as a text thing, or a bit of both? What would you suggest?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah,
and where do I put?
There are those who will click the video thing. I found it to be very interesting. So let's show this real quick. This is a great question. Thank you for this question, Tracy. Yes, and they are confirming that there's no echo now. So we appreciate that. All right. So let's go. All right. So Tracy's with me. I think you should be. Yeah, there we go. Tracy's on screen with me here still. All right. So this is the about page. When you go to school.com/Kirk R. Nugent, this is what you're gonna see. Kind of. In fact, let's just open up a incognito window so I can show you what that looks like when you're not logged in. All right. So this is what it looks like. So some people will see this and they're like, okay, cool. But many don't necessarily see that that's a play button. You know what I mean? So pressing play on it then actually brings the video up and they can watch the video, but I still have the bio here. Here. Who am I? I am a personal brand strategist, content coach, allergic to video editing. Am I alone? Do you see what I did right there? This is kind of what we were talking about in the video earlier, that self-qualifying, right? So I'm allergic to video editing. Am I alone? And then that forces the viewer to say yes or no. And if they're saying, no, I love video editing, this is not for you. It's called the No Edit Creator Lab. It's about as clear as it gets. But if you're like, actually, yeah, I never thought of it that way, but I am probably allergic. But no, my point to you, Tracy, is having both is not a bad idea.
And you have got, not a bad idea. Because at the moment in that field, I've got a little thing that just says, welcome and what the community is all about. But are those all separate uploads, all those things that I can see in the little
they're all separate. They're separate uploads. So if I go back to my regular page, right? Yeah. So if you see how it has a little X on there? If I hit the X, it'll delete that one and I can upload a new one. But you can have 6 different ones down here in their own words, right? There's Steve Factor, there's Dwayne Wood, there's Kanique, there's Bonus Accelerator, No Video Editing Challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if I have one about the group and then one about me, that's for now probably all I need.
That's fine.
Actually,
yeah.
At this stage.
You've got a new member, I would just jump on, camera with them and say, hey, just tell us why you joined the community and hit record. Because that's what this is, right? You ready for this, Tracy?
Go on then.
Who's that?
Oh, heck, it's me on a straight hair day.
This is all of you guys talking about why you joined the community. This is Steve, Doc Bashara, Tracy, and Dr. Vibe all talking about why they joined this community. That video does so well. I'm just saying, don't overthink it. Sometimes it's better to have it in their own words. And if you can't get the person to do video, just do one of these. You're just like, hey, send them a DM and say, thank you so much for joining the community. Tell me why you joined. And they'll tell you something, and you can just put that on a little slide, a little graphic, and put it in your one of your slides for the community. So, yeah, I think that's absolutely appropriate, and I think that'll help you to kind of move towards where you want to be. Great question. Great question.
Thank you. I wasn't quite sure how to do that.
No, I'm glad. Yeah. So Nita Technology says the echo is fixed now. Creative Lady says no echo now. Thank you. Okay. We had. I see. Yeah. Go ahead, Doc Vibe. Your hand is still up. What you got for me?
Yeah. Also, another thing, I did get someone to join the community, Laura Lala Key. So I'm happy that she joined the community.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Let me make sure. She said she did join. I was really pushing because when you offered it in the past and then you sort of change up things, I said Kirk's offering memberships again to join in, so go for it. So she said she did join. She did. So, I'm looking at her right now, and I have.
All right, good.
Yeah, good. I've sent her a message. To. Yeah, I'm gonna send her another message.
Yeah, no, that's good. I just wanted to make sure. Because she's
so cool, yeah.
She's sort of
real estate agent, social media coach, singer, motivational speaker. Let's go.
She's a very accomplished singer. She has done stuff with some pretty impressive people. One of them being Jill Jones, who was one of the stars of the movie Purple Rain.
Oh wow! Oh yeah.
Okay.
Awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. So I just sent her another message just to make sure that
I'm going to be speaking with her this week, so I'll just touch base with her. Perfect, but she says she's finding really good value in the community, so just wanted to make sure.
Oh man, see, this is another example, Tracy, where just her little message right there. That's another thing to put on that about page. Is it in my opinion, I feel like if you showcase the community members, when they recommend people like Dr. Vibe just did, and the person sees Dr. Vibe's message about the community, it's like, oh, well, it's a no-brainer. I mean, he's not, you know what I mean? So I wanted to connect those two. Thank you for helping me answer that question, Doc Vibe. All right, come on. What you got for me today? Come on, I want to be stumped, man. I want to be stumped. What do you got?
Okay. Because people are at different levels when it comes to being part of this community. What are some foundational principles we should be looking at when we get approached to do partnerships or collaborations?
This is good. This is a really great question. Really great question. What are some foundational principles we should consider, we should be thinking about when we're approached to do partnerships? You want to have a set of questions. You want to have a process that you go through in terms of, meeting with them. I don't do brand, partnerships with people I have not met with. This is not a money grab for me. Before we ever talk about a dollar amount, I need to kind of get to know who you are, get to know your business. Why did you found it? Do some homework before you have that initial meeting as well, but also let the brand know or partner know that you are going to be doing that homework and you would like to have that meeting. So that to me is kind of base. That's first step. Do the homework, understand who they are. Now, you will have to kind of come up with your metric for deciding if after you've done your homework, should you even bother having the meeting. I had I don't even know if I can actually say. I don't even know if I can actually say what this person does.
If you're hesitant, don't say it.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it alone. But they inquired about a partnership of some sort, and when I did a little bit of homework, I realized this person's not a great fit. I was actually surprised that they watched my content and thought that I might be a good fit for them. But I recognized very quickly that they were not a good fit. And so I just kind of politely declined, not really entertaining partnerships at this time. Or you could be a little more direct and just be like, hey, we're just not in alignment in terms of what you're doing and what I'm doing. And so it's not a great fit. So there is you know how they have the funnel. It's like, if this happens, then exit, right? If you get to that part, even if the first part of the funnel and you recognize it's not a good fit, it's not a good alignment, then just exit the whole process. But then once you recognize, okay, this is a proper, entity, business, person, collaborator, partner, potential partner, there's some synergy between what I do, what they do, then you do want to have that meeting. What does partnership look like? I don't like to go into partnerships that don't have a win-win scenario. I don't like to do, I remember sitting with my co-host, Taina Nixon, who helps me co-host the podcast. And I was like, I know what I'm going to get out of this. When, with you as my co-host, I know what I'm going to get out of this, but I want to make sure that you benefit too. So let's make sure we craft this in a way that we both, get a win, because I want to consistently ensure that you're getting the win out of this as well, because I'm asking you to show up, be consistent, to help me deliver these topics and concepts and share your story and your insights and perspectives. So I'm asking a lot, and I know what I'm benefiting, but I want to make sure it's going to benefit you too. So that's a major one. And especially when it's somebody personal like that, not necessarily like a brand, you want to make sure that it's clear. Like, what does a W look like for you? What does it look like for me? How do we ensure that we're consistently making that work? I also want to say right here that we haven't even talked about money yet. And sometimes collaborations don't have to be monetary. It could just be an understanding between the two people, right? So
that's point. Do I have your permission?
Absolutely.
Do I have permission to interrupt?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is one of the things when people reach out to me, I ask them, other than money, what do you value in a partnership? Because not everyone's there for the money aspect.
Agreed. 5,000%. Yeah, agreed.
I hold back after that. So I'll let you continue. I just wanted, because even when it comes to brands, some brands just want reached. What do they value? Because I like to interview them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'll pull back. I'll pull back after that.
You're hitting the nail on the head. I think so. We kind of gave that first step in the process of really doing the homework, understanding who they are, what they're looking for, and what they exist. And once you recognize that there's some synergy, then it's time to actually have a conversation around what does a W look like for either one of us? What does a win look like? What does success look like? How do we each ensure that we're getting across the line? I will tell you, even in brand deal negotiations, when you approach it from that perspective, it is a pleasant surprise even to the brand's, collaboration leader, right? Because a lot of times content creators, they're just doing the money grab, as many and as fast as they possibly can. And so when you come at them saying, no, I really want to understand what's a W for you. And I have done this homework to understand, this campaign you guys did and it seemed like it was successful. Would you want to repeat that? I think we could do it from this perspective. and really bring in this kind of audience? Is that something that you would be interested in? When you start talking in those kinds of languages, you're not talking about a one-off brand deal anymore. Now you're talking about a multi-brand, multi-content engagement. This could be tens of thousands of dollars. I've seen it happen. I've gone through Justin Moore's brand deal cohort. I'm a graduate from his program. I've had him in the community before. We still have a masterclass from Justin Moore here. Actually gave away some of his books. I'm looking at one of his books right here called The Sponsor Magnet. And this is what he talks about in terms of that brand deal wheel, right? The cycle that you go through. And there's a cycle. That cycle also includes follow-up because people get busy. What I'm simply saying is speaking in those terms really positions you as a partner. They're not necessarily seeing you as a necessary evil. Like we want the reach that this guy has, and so we're just going to deal with whatever nonsense he comes up with. But when you start to talk in partner terms, it does go the distance. Now, not everybody's going to be looking for a brand deal from that perspective. Sometimes you're going to be talking about, a partnership between, Steve and Doc Vibe or Doc Basharo or maybe myself and Tracy, whatever. It might be a deal like that where it's a collab. Again, still want to make sure that there's mutual benefit. Want to make sure that there's synergy. Want to make sure that we each understand and know as we move forward what the expectations are. Had an opportunity right between calls today, between the Inner Circle call and this call. I got a confirmation phone call from a brand that I'm going to be working with this summer to do a podcast production out in California. All of the other parts of that process had been ironed out. We've had those meetings, we had those talks, we had those conversations. What are the deliverables? And they made it very clear, we're not looking for you to work camera. We're not looking for you to, yell cut or any of that stuff. What we're looking for you to do is to maintain, is the energy low? Are we staying on topic? Are we delivering the content the way that we want it to be delivered? Because the end goal isn't just a video. The end goal is a video that does well, that performs well. So from a content perspective, that's what we want you in there for. They made that crystal clear. And it's the first time somebody's ever asked me to do that. I'm usually the one that's working the camera, setting up the, the set and the design. And no, they want me to ensure continuity of focus from beginning of the video to the end, that there is a thread. That's so now that gives me clarity. I know when I get on that plane to go out to Cali to do this thing in July, I know exactly what I need to go and deliver. And that is, worth its weight in gold. The worst thing you can have is you don't have clarity. I actually don't even know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm doing part of this. What am I? So yeah, we just want you to create a course. What is the course about? I don't know. We just want you to create a course. No, I don't work like that. You see what I'm saying? It's like to some person, it seems like it's freedom. No, actually, it's a rope to hang you with because they can keep on moving the goal line. If you hold them to a standard at the beginning and say, this is what success looks like, this is what the goal is, then once we cross that goal and you can quantifiably check off all those boxes, you don't need to wait for them to say that the job done. We've finished it. You've already done that. So I want clarity on what the deliverables are, clarity on what a W looks like. I even want clarity on what the extras could be. It's like if you could pack into this thing, a couple of cherries on top that aren't necessarily part of the project, but it would just be nice to have. What would be those things? Just tell me. And I'm just writing these down as notes. And for me personally, if I can figure out a way to give them even one of those extras, I'm going to do it. Because I want to, as they say, under promise, over deliver. I want the experience to be one where we each walk away saying that was good. And I will also say this, not as part of my negotiation with the collaborator or the brand, but as part of my own internal conversation. I'm also looking for other benefits that may not be explicitly stated to the collaborator. Does that make sense? So, okay, I'm going to go on this. Okay. Pentatonics. They're going to be interviewing Steph Curry. Hey, Is my name going to be in the credits? Yes, it will be. Okay. Can I do Day in the Life? Yeah, that's fine. Can I do BTS as long as I don't post it before the episodes drop? Yeah, that's okay. Are you seeing the point? Like, I'm stacking the deck of things that I can do, I can benefit, I can push out there, and those things will enable me to, I mean, you just don't know what doors will open when you really prioritize the content piece. My coach, he went to, my coach is in Russell Brunson's program. And so he went up to Omaha for one of their, coaching days. And the way he does it, Russell does it, is he brings everybody up on stage, and you have about 5 minutes to ask a question and get an answer from Russell. It's actually quite a interesting scenario, interesting strategy, interesting setup. But what I found interesting in the scenario was, as he's sharing the story with us, he's like, many of the people that went up there, think about this, Dr. Vibe. You have 5 minutes with Russell Brunson, a man who's multimillionaire. You have 5 minutes, and people would get up there, Tracy, and they would ramble for 4.5 minutes. They would give context, and they would overspeak, and they would do all this nonsense for 4.5 minutes and leave Russell 30 seconds to answer their poorly positioned question. Terrible, right? Second, they did not have anybody there to capture this in the whole entire scenario. Well, I hope you're kind of following the breadcrumbs. So my coach, Omar, gets up there. He first starts by saying, thank you, Russell, for putting this together. This is phenomenal. I've already received so much game before I even sat down to ask my question. And he looks at the audience, is like, let's clap it up for Russell and his team. And they all clap. Then he asks him, he pulls his phone out and he reads a very succinct, direct question, one that he has been preparing for weeks. In less than 60 seconds, Russell has more than enough time to not only respond, but once he finished responding, Omar's like, thank you so much, shakes his hand. He's like, hold up. Russell says to him, wait, can I ask you a question? Oh, gosh. Can I ask you a question? And he's like, yeah, sure. He's like, how are your videos so crispy? How are you doing this stuff on YouTube? This is crazy. So then Omar gets to expound on his answer for another 5 minutes. And when he's done, he leaves the stage. You know what's waiting for him off to the side of the stage? A line of people to talk with him. He brought to that particular experience his video guy. So his video guy is recording this entire thing. And more other people who went up to speak with Russell afterwards came to Omar, was like, hey, can your video guy record me too? He's like, sure. Give me your card. Give me your email address. I'll take your information. We'll send you the footage. Yeah, and then tell me whatever it costs. I don't care what it costs. I'll pay for it. I just hope you've got to know what the benefits are for you over and above what has been stated and agreed upon. And you got to come prepared to capitalize on those benefits. Like, he brought the video guy with him knowing that other people would not have one. Brought the video guy with him knowing that other people are going to come to him because he's the video guy. Are you seeing what I'm trying to say? So I hope that I'm giving, I like to tell stories, but this is, I'm hoping, giving you the context that
Absolutely.
You have opportunity and access and privilege there in that brand deal or in that deal or that collaboration. And it's what you make of it. What you make of it. You're going into a speaking engagement, many times unpaid. What can you make of it? I paid a guy $250 to shadow me for a day while I did the speaking engagement. I did a workshop for twice in one morning, 45 minutes each. He recorded both times and then got video of me interviewing people. Talking to people afterwards. I put those reels up. Multiple other speaking engagements from something that was free. And I want you to it's what you make of it. what can I, even if you take something on pro bono, what can you make of the opportunity is, in my opinion, the huge benefit. So I hope that gives you some context. And I know you probably have a follow-up.
No, that's just so many, for people watching live on the replay, that was a masterclass right there. Just all the different things. And one thing that Kirk and the gentleman he's mentioning, Omar, people follow that man.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say anything else. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I ain't gonna say anything else. But also another wonderful thing, and I encourage people to do, document your journey.
Document your journey.
Right? Because Omar had his videographer there, great content, and then other people, and without even realizing, Omar was, maybe he did, he was marketing himself. Not by purpose. It happened organically.
There's so much. It's happened organically. When we were breaking down this thing in our coaching session, this was a couple months ago, but when we were breaking this thing down, he was just talking about how the tentacles of that one moment,
there you go,
stretch out. The story's not ever done. Is that, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are people who saw him in that moment that have not hit him up yet, but they will. And it's because of the seed that was planted in. You get me. I'll leave it there. I know Steve had a question as well, but I have I just got a message from my spouse. I've got a doctor's appointment. I kind of have to roll, y'all. But yo, Steve, what you got? Steve, you there with me? Doc Bashara?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Steve,
real quick. Definitely all into the soul, what you guys are talking about, over the money, like the purpose of why we're doing business in the first place. Absolutely. And only aligning with those people. Absolutely. Mine is a technical question based on your mistake, in quotes. And that is, can I go through Ecamm live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time? Yes. And then in the same thing, without skipping a beat, staying on the same, doing it all maybe from school, like if school, and then so I could tell everybody after the YouTube, Facebook, okay, now for Q&A, we're gonna go into the den or the library or whatever, and meet up. And if you guys want to come to the library and the den, here's a, okay.
So you absolutely can do that, but you can.
But without,
they'll probably need to join. They'll probably need to join the community, or in order for it to be in school, they would have to join the community in order to get to the, to wherever that thing is. Whether you use the school call or you use the Zoom call, they'll probably need to do that. Just, FYI, I'm still live on Facebook. on YouTube right now. So, but several, of course, many of you have come into the community and click the link to join the Zoom. Yeah.
So, but I don't want to be live anymore. I want to complete it, finish it, like with whatever the class is for that day that I teach. And then the Q&A, now we're going to school without saying that on Facebook or YouTube. Saying the community or some kind of code name.
Some kind of, that's right.
And then, but it's not like I got to say, okay, we're going to stop this and now I'm going to create a new link, or a new link was already created and I'm going to push it. Can I just like swoop over? Because that's what we did today during your mistake. We were like we were in the hallway and you didn't open the door. But we got to see you on TV. There was a TV set in the hallway of YouTube.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So then you open the door.
You can absolutely do that. No, that's good. Yeah. So, but I just want to make sure that from a technical standpoint, I opened the wrong Zoom room and you guys were waiting on the right Zoom room. So I'm looking at Zoom the whole time, like, wonder what happened. Why aren't people joining? And then it occurred to me when I put my mouse on it, it actually had the name of the meeting. And I was like, that's the wrong one. I closed that. Everything's still live. Everything's still going on YouTube. I closed that Zoom room, opened the right Zoom room, and then you guys were able to come in. I started letting you guys in the room. But I could have easily, just at that point when I let you guys in, I could have just said, hey, guys, we're going to go over to the community. We're going to have our Q&A over there. If you want to join us, here's a link to join us in the community for Q&A. Thank you so much for your attention. And I could have said sayonara. And then everybody on YouTube, that closes down. And I'm just over I'm in Zoom or in the school. School has a video platform as well. So whichever you decide to use, but I would be over here in that. Yeah. Seamlessly. Yeah.
Okay. Because school is the platform. I do. Yep. I want to leave Zoom out of it. I know you love Zoom and you do it great, but I just want to keep it from everything is in school as much as possible. Mm-hmm. And when I'm going live on Facebook and YouTube, that gets into school anyway.
Yeah.
So can I go live Facebook, YouTube, and school at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, this is too great.
Facebook, YouTube, and school. Yes, there's no doubt about it. So you're looking at the people on. If I spotlight myself, what you see right now on screen is what everybody online is seeing. So that could be school. I know we're using Zoom in this instance, but it could be school, but it's being shown on both sides. It's being shown online using Ecamm and in school using Ecamm. So it can definitely work. That's a great question. And I could see the strategy. I see your wheels turning there, man. So if you want to test that out, just theoretically, let's put it through. Let's put it through its paces. Let's test it out and see what we come up with, because I think that's a great idea.
I would like to test it out for sure.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's awesome. Drop me a DM and let's set up a time for us to test that out. Yeah, let's do that. And we'll go live on YouTube and Facebook, and we'll also be live in school, and we'll just test it. That's all. Yeah, I think this is a great idea.
Roof. Gracias.
Hey, not a problem, man. Hey, Doc Bashara, man, I'm running. So I wanted to kind of see if I can catch you real quick if you are there. Florence, I know you just joined us. I'm scooting out of here trying to get to a doctor's appointment, so I want to make sure I hear from you guys before we go, as they are kind of getting situated. Oh, there we go. Doc Bashara, what you got?
Hey, just wanted to say, hey, what's up real quick? Thanks again for the community, and all that goes on in here is really such a accountability and motivation for me. So that's pretty much it, just working to keep it going, keep it cranking forward, and keep cranking out content. And it's really fun and it's really good just to get all of that done and get the responses and things from my folks in my community. So thanks again. And if anybody out there is watching, get on down. Come on over.
Come on. Listen, you don't take my word for it.
The water's good. The water's good. You can jump right in. It's like some water in the islands. You ain't got to worry. It's cold or nothing. Yeah, you jump right in. The water's 70 degrees.
I love that, man. I love that. No, Doc, thank you so much. And I want to say thanks to the whole team for, kind of understanding. Florence sent a message just a second ago saying, nothing for her today, but I know we got a chance to talk earlier, and I'm looking forward to connecting again soon. But I can't thank you guys enough for today. Listen, I want to recap: specific assignment mandate, clarity on who you serve. Excited for several of you to really take this thing for a spin. When I got started, I shared with you my content focus was kind of much more broader. But when I began to really speak in terms that would allow people to either qualify themselves or disqualify themselves, that's when I really started to see that deep-seated impact. When people started to say, it's like you were talking specifically to me. And that's what you want your content to be. There's so many technical things that people focus on. I was on a show last night called Office Hours Global. And one of the points, even though we were talking about StreamYard, but one of the points we were talking about is this concept of a renewed focus on the message that you have to provide and the transformation that you are enabling people to experience. And those kinds of things only happen when you set up the messaging right. And the messaging is part of your branding. Your messaging is part of your story. And in order for your story to be part of your messaging, you got to know it. You got to own it, because owning it becomes your specific assignment. That's it. That's all I want to share with you today. I see Florence is saying, yeah, Kirk was on fire last night. I hope that you guys get a chance to check that out. And I see you, Tora. Tora snuck in a comment right there towards the end. I see you out there. Thank you guys so much. But man, listen, I want to say a word of thanks to each of you. Grace and peace. Have a great afternoon, evening, wherever you might be. I hope you can cool off a little bit, Tracy. I know it's hot over there in the UK, but I will see you in the community or next Wednesday for one of our coaching calls. Grace and peace.
Wednesday.